guess. Excuse the curly hair. I don't even know that I need to excuse it. This is what my hair does naturally, and personally, I like it the way it looks better when it's straight or styled with a curling iron. However, I've really been enjoying the opportunity, since I'm not out as much or in as many pictures, to let my hair do what it does naturally and avoid some of the heat, and so maybe it can heal itself some while we're not seeing each other so much. So I just had a thought that I really wanted to share, and I have my views about what's going on with this virus and how I feel about it, and other people have theirs, of course, and I'm okay with that. Like, I don't feel any judgment towards somebody who sees it differently. I don't feel any judgment toward anybody who's taking different precautions or more extreme precautions than I am. I don't really feel judgment towards somebody who's living in a space of fear. That's just not what I'm choosing to do. I personally feel like everything, including this virus, is a part of a bigger plan for all of us. And I'm not necessarily religious. Let me clear that up. However, I am spiritual in my own way. And that's a different conversation for a different day. And even with that, I believe what I believe, but have no judgment toward others about what they believe or what I think they should believe, because there is no should, right? We're all just here trying to figure it out, doing the best we can. And really none of us will ever know here in this lifetime what is the truth, the honest to God truth. And so while we have faith in what we each believe, I think it's important to not be judgmental of people who believe something different. And so anyway, my point is, in my opinion, this virus is a Mother Nature doing something. She's trying to accomplish something, and our interference isn't going to change her accomplishing what she's going to. She's bigger than us. Her plan is bigger than us. And whatever this is intended to accomplish is going to happen, no matter how much interference. I also feel that although we're interfering, that's not bad or wrong either. I think the interference is a part of the plan. And like, I just think it's going to land where it's supposed to land no matter what we do. And so while I feel like it's respectful to make choices that respect other people's precautions, I personally don't feel the need to make take so many precautions for myself. Like, when I go out, I don't personally feel the need to wear a mask. I'm also not sick, right? And so, but I also understand where other people are coming from. So for instance, I had to go bring something to my aunt's house. I can't even remember what it was, but it was important. It had to be done. I brought something over there, and my family stood 6 feet away from me and wouldn't hug me hello. And I respect that. I understand that. Me personally, I don't feel the need to do that. And I know that there's going to be a lot of really harsh opinions about that, and that's okay. I also respect yours. But that was hard. Like, that was probably the hardest part of this whole thing. Anyway, from the day this started, the whole reason I started this video, it was because of a post I just saw a few minutes ago. And from the day this started, my entire perspective on this whole thing has been, do the things you said you didn't have the time to do, right? Well, then those opinions, other people had similar opinions, and they got a little more harsh or aggressive. I think the one was almost verbatim, something like, if you didn't accomplish what you intended to accomplish, or all the things you said you didn't have time for before, forget the verbatim because I'm blowing it, but essentially that you didn't lack the time, you lacked the discipline. And while I do agree with that statement to a degree, and there for sure is some truth to it, again, in my opinion, I also do get the other side of it, right? So I saw someone I know post the other day, like, they quoted that quote and then said something like, well, excuse me for losing everything, having my world turned upside down, and being put in a completely unfamiliar situation to anything I've ever known, and not turning into a butterfly. And I really had to think about that for a minute, because I do, like, I feel both ways, and I'm not being hypocritical. I understand both. And so there are some people who are going to, take this opportunity to create things that they otherwise didn't create. Some of us, me for example, are going to try to do that and then learn that certain things were never as important to me as I thought they were, because when I do have the time, they just still don't get done. And I'm willing to own that and admit that and, evaluate myself in that way. Other people are going to sit in the feelings about what's going on. It's going to paralyze them. It's going to make them less productive rather than more productive. It's going to, ruin certain life experiences. I had a friend the other day who was talking to me about this year's the year her son graduates, and he's a senior, and of course he's not the only one. And she's so devastated. She's like, you don't know how hard I work to watch him walk across that stage. And what I had said to her was, and I meant it, was, don't let this take that away from you. It may not look the way you wanted it to look or the way you always envisioned it looking, but it doesn't have to be ruined. It doesn't have to be taken away from you. And personally, the way I choose to view those things is create something that's going to be worth remembering with a smile rather than looking back and feeling like you were punished or had something taken away. And when I was telling somebody else I know about the story, he was like, no, it's easy for you to say because you're not in that situation. And it's easy for you to say, but there is no replacement for what was taken from people. And he didn't say that I was being unfair or, I don't want to say judgmental. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but he basically was like, who are you to say that that's how they should feel about it? And he's right too. And I'm willing to accept that also. And so if it were me, I know, because the way I've dealt with everything else in my life that didn't go my way, and Lord, anybody who knows me knows all of the life experiences that I didn't get to experience for something much different than this virus, but nonetheless, things that I just had taken from me that just shouldn't have been. And it's probably more than some people could even imagine. There's also people who've lost more, been through more, and I get that. And it's not like I'm not trying to compete. I'm just saying, I know me and who I am and the way I would choose to view this. The post I saw online a minute ago was a baby's first birthday party, like a quarantine birthday party. Or, I've been watching a lot of people do birthday parades and things like that. And so there are a lot of people that are kind of viewing it the way I did. And then there's a lot of people who are viewing it from no, I don't want to make it something different. I just want to sit in my emotions about what's been taken from me. And then there's the other people who are somewhere in the middle where they're like, I'll do what I can to create what I can and make it look different or better than, it might if I didn't have a good attitude about it, but I do still want to sit in the feelings. And I guess my whole reason for getting online, and that's the other thing, I'm watching people unfriend each other. And the last time I remember this happening was during the first Trump election. And I thought that I would wake up the next day and I would feel like people would be back to normal. And no, they were still being just as hateful, and it felt awful. And I'm watching people start to do that over this too. And so that's essentially the whole point. Kristen, I can't even see what you're posting, but I'm glad it's there because I'm sure it's beautiful and amazing. I see a couple of words, but I just want to finish this thought because I'm about to walk into an appointment to take photos for a listing, and I don't want to be late, but I had this minute and I just wanted to share this. And I just would wish people above all else would love each other. And the reality is, if you choose not to, that's your choice too. And that's okay. No one's telling you you're bad or wrong for wanting to experience it differently, but just know that it is a choice, and that because your friend feels differently about this or is experiencing this differently than you are, doesn't mean you need to be hateful or fight with them over it, because it's not going to solve anything. And to me, at least, and to a lot of the people that I know and admire, what's going to matter the most at the end of this is kind of how we treated each other through it, and the memories that we made to make this a positive experience versus a negative experience. And if that's not your choice for yourself, that's okay too. But I would say the one thing I would like to see more of, even though it's also your choice not to do that, would just be more love and acceptance for people who feel differently about you. And not even about you, about this. But there's obviously people who think this is some crazy conspiracy theory. Whatever, I don't feel that 100%. Maybe there's a little bit of question about it, but I don't feel that. And so, but I don't have any disrespect or feelings toward people who do feel that and who are putting all their energy into that. And then, then there's the people who, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I don't need to list all the things that people feel about this virus and about this current situation. The reality is it kind of sucks. I do believe that there's a bigger purpose for it than we're ever going to understand. And I do think that the world every single day is displaying reasons why this needed to happen. And it doesn't suck less because of it. But I hope that you guys will all just love each other a little bit more, be a little bit more accepting of each other. I know yesterday everybody I spoke to was a huge breaking point for them. Everybody's reached that limit of I just can't do this anymore because this isn't our normal life. And it's okay that it's not our normal life. And it's okay that we're frustrated. And it's okay that we're angry. It's okay that we're trying to be our best selves. And it's okay when you're not. So I hope you guys all have a really great day. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.